All right, guys, welcome back. Round two. Let's hit it. Let's hit it. Let's do it right this time. We got it. We're gonna have a good episode here with NFT Live. We appreciate you guys coming back. Obviously, if you were here 10 minutes ago, we had some technical difficulties, but we're working through that. We're trying to get you guys the best from around the NFT industry. Production value is killing it right now. We're about to introduce the man behind the screen here. But Ronin, how you doing today? Before we get to our introduction.
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I can't help but move every time I hear the new intro song. It's like we're getting ready to like go live, and I'm back over here like hanging out and shit. So it's good, man. Thank you guys so much for hanging in there with us. Thank you for being patient. We've got actually, I just checked in on Whale, man. They go hard, dude. They've got a huge group of people there watching. So thank you guys all so much for hanging out there and sticking with us, man. We really appreciate it. So for anyone who did miss the first go at it, we actually have a new production package kind of coming for you guys. And that is brought to you by CryptoBuffalo. CryptoBuffalo reached out to us a couple weeks ago in regards to the show. He really liked what we were doing here and really kind of believed in the product. So Crypto said, I've got this talent and I'm really fucking good at it. And I would love to help out. So here we are, right? Like, I think the package looks great, man. So we're going to bring Crypto up. He's going to introduce himself a little bit. He'll let you guys know about the contest that we're running for his first episode, and then we'll get right into the news.
Hello, hello, everybody. All right, second time around, we're gonna try to do this right. Name is Crypto Buffalo. Been in the space since 2017, and been in the NFT space for only a couple months, and it's blown my mind. And I came across NFT Live a couple weeks ago. Reached out to Q and Ronin and said, "You guys, let's take this to the next level." And here we are with our first run of the whole new version of NFT Live, and I'm very excited to be a part of it, and I would love to give back to the community. So we have a new Twitter channel at NFTLive, and if you go ahead and follow us there and tweet my height, go ahead and try to guess my height. I'll give you a clue here. I am taller than the average NBA basketball player. So if you guess my height, you're going to get a cog. Ronan the collector is going to through my collection and choose one for you. It's going to have some value, so good luck to you guys out there, and I'm going to let the boys take over here and enjoy the new show, and hopefully we don't have any more problems.
This
We
man is going to
appreciate
be
that,
bringing
man.
us, yeah. This man's going to be bringing us the craziest production level upgrades that you've ever seen when it comes to NFT Live. He's going to take NFT Live to the new height. So we appreciate you, Buffalo. We appreciate all the work that you've been doing. So much energy, man. That was the first thing that
Yeah.
me and you talked about, Ronan, about his energy and just what he was bringing to the production side, but also just ideas as far as Layer One and NFT Live, man. I'm so happy to have him. So.
Yeah, most definitely. Me too, man. Me too. We've got a lot of cool stuff coming for you. Randy's got Crypto Buffalo has got a lot of plans for the show. Obviously, he kind of kicked our butts to go ahead and get going with some other platforms. So we are streaming to YouTube and Twitch today. Next week, we're looking to introduce Twitter into the mix. If you're watching and you've got your phone in your hand and you want to interact, you can hashtag NFT Live on your tweets, and they will show up on our live on the show. So that's another cool thing. And this is just phase one. We've got lots and lots and lots
Mhm.
planned.
Yeah, we see like the NFT live Twitter bird coming on there with the image. Like it's just it's something we're gonna have to get used to because we're so used to just riffing and just like seeing each other. But the production value, man, I can't speak on it enough. We have a whole episode to get to, guys. By the way, we're not
Yep.
just gonna sit here and talk about NFT live all day. We're gonna bring you the actual news. Let me get to some of this here. So basically, the rundown for today, guys, we've got Dapper addressing some gas fees along with the CryptoKitties sale that we kind of like kind of went under the radar a little bit. So we'll touch on it. CareBears is coming to the Sandbox. We've got CSC, which is like an MMO there with an NFT kind of play. We've got Rev token from Animoca Brands that's launching on Uniswap pretty much momentarily. I think that within the
That's
next two
huge.
days. Yeah, we've got Whale and Alex partnership. They're doing some cool things with social tokens, and then we're gonna finish up with rare designers. So if you guys have any type of NFT news that you want us to hit as well, you know what to do. Just drop it in the comments. Your comments now show up live on stream. So we appreciate, man, all your guys' work and of course Buffalo's work behind the cam. So
Yeah, yeah, and definitely
so
let
what's
us
going on,
know,
man?
how things are going. Yeah, I was just gonna say definitely let us know how things are going in chat if anything's off or whatever. We would need all that feedback. Let us know what you think about the show. If you think there's anything we could change or anything that you guys would like to see become part of the show, I think that would be really great. So I think what do we have up first? What are we gonna talk about first?
Yeah, yeah. Before we get to this first story, Ronan, what's been up, man? Because
Yeah.
like honestly, this has been the craziest week. I've been heads down in DeFi, just absolutely losing my mind, becoming a degen, as they say. What have you been up to this past week, man? Like, let the people out there know what you've been doing in NFT land, maybe outside NFT land. What's going on?
Yeah, I've actually spent a lot of time this last week outside of NFT land. So this weekend I just kind of took it easy, man. It was actually like real life stuff. You know what I mean? We got into my daughter's back in soccer, so we're kind of doing that kind of thing, and just
Mm.
enjoying like that time of year, right? Like I'm in the south, so it starts to like cool off. Like we have these really beautiful afternoons. So it's that time of year, man. As far as NFTs are concerned, I've kind of just been watching the landscape. The whole gas thing that's coming up, man, is obviously what's hot and what people are talking about, and whether
Mm-hmm.
that's talking about alternatives or solutions. It's kind of the hot topic right now.
100%, man. And we're going to get to this first story here with the gas policy update for Dapper and their Dapper wallet as far as it comes to Ethereum. I did want to get to some of the comments. Dimitri's first. Brandon was really first. So shout out to Brandon. He's one of the lads. Guys, if you want to
Yeah,
join
man.
the Layer 1 community, the lads community as they're affectionately known, you guys just head over to the Telegram link there in the description. We'll get you an invite. Dimitri will get you that invite to the lads community. But a couple other comments. We got Lucas in here. We've got Darium. These are some hard names, man. Chaphomone,
Yeah.
CryptoPhages in here that we're all talking about donating. So
Hey.
any donations you guys can kind of leave us, obviously that helps us a bunch. But guys, without further ado,
Yep.
we've been putting it off a lot. Obviously, we have a ton of news as far as NFTLive is concerned, but we're past that. Let's get to the news. So I've got it right here pulled up on my screen. We're talking gas policy updates for Dapper and Ethereum. So basically, obviously, you have this kind of full suite of products that Dapper is associated with, right? We got Cheese Wizards, we've got CryptoKitties. I think they laid out a bunch of different products that they'll still be kind of offering side services to. But basically, what's happening here is Dapper was subsidizing users on their wallet. So if you were to use CryptoKitties, obviously that's a huge thing that we've talked about multiple times, where kind of the user experience is not good if you're trying to use MetaMask and things like that. So Dapper just abstracted that all away. They were paying for people's gas. So as you see, they're going to stop this service. I think they're still doing vital services, which we'll get to here in a second. But they've paid upwards, I believe, in the article, upwards of $107,000 for people using the Dapper wallet on CryptoKitties and their kind of full list of services. I think there's another fee here that they were covering that got up to about 40,000. So total, it's like 150,000 Dapper's been subsidizing for the community. It looks like that's stopping literally today. So it's being felt all
Wow.
across the industry. DeFi is a whales game. Certainly, that's being felt in the NFT industry as well. So definitely something to keep a look at. You can kind of see the layout here that they have. So market lists and D-lists of CryptoKitties specifically were taking up almost 50% of what they were paying. So that's somewhere in the vicinity, I think, of 60 or $70,000 that Dapper was kind of subsidizing for their users just to list on their marketplace. There's a ton of other stuff. What do you make of this story?
I First of all, I'm really surprised that they've been covering gas fees for this many years, and they're just now kind of getting to that point of saying like, okay, we can't really, that's not a good business model, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think for the users, look, long-term flow is going to be awesome. I think, in my opinion, I think that that's definitely one of the places that everybody should be looking, especially if you're coming into the space as like a new company that's looking for an alternative to Ethereum, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know much about the other side of things, and I don't really know much about what's taken place in the NFT space prior to kind of coming into it in May. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so it'll be interesting to watch. I'm really interested in what they're doing. They've obviously got a lot of big IPs coming. I did see that they are also going to be changing just the entire way you interact with any of their NFTs. So it seems like they've got like a real good solid plan for an ecosystem. It's just a matter of getting that rolled out.
Yeah, you can kind of see here that their Ethereum gas fees, which is leading them to make that flow blockchain you're talking about, went up 1,000% from January to July 2020. So that's a lot of fees to be paying. They also had some people gaming the fees, so there were some gas attacks, and I don't want to get into the technicals here, but people were some bad actors were using this service of free gas essentially to kind of manipulate and do transactions that weren't necessarily supposed to be made. So, yeah, man, the flow is going to be interesting. We're going to talk about another IP here in a second that I kind of want you to get involved in. I know CareBears were something. I think I caught the back end of CareBears, or maybe I was a kid. It's been so long ago now, but I definitely want to get into this CareBear IP. What do you make of kind of that IP that's kind of coming into the ecosystem now?
Oh man, it's huge, right? Okay, so Care Bears, I'm an '80s kid, so Care Bears was really big when I was a kid. I wasn't like super hardcore into Care Bears, but they are making a comeback. I know my daughter
Mm-hmm.
likes to watch the show. I think as far as mass adoption is concerned, like this is exactly what you want to see. You want to see
Mm-hmm.
IPs that can bring in an audience from as young as 13, 14, obviously, all the way up till the late 40s and 50s. I mean, this is something that when you bring nostalgia, we've talked about that before, right? Like when an IP is nostalgic, like it's just got an inherent value to it. So throw that into the sandbox, let people buy Care Bear avatars and create worlds that have that are based in this IP, and the sky's the limit, man. I think it's a great move. I think it's really smart. I think Sandbox is doing really big things. You throw in Atari and Animoco as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Roller Coaster Tycoon. I mean, so much is going to be in this world. It's really going to be one of those places that you're going to want to check out as soon as it launches.
Yeah, and I got my metaverses mixed up there. So I definitely associated Care Bears with Dapper there, but obviously you laid it out. It was the Sandbox. Sandbox is definitely doing a lot of things, and I think their latest sales had premium game assets. So they have,
They
I think,
did.
3 more sales to hit here before they're completely done. I feel like they've been doing sales for literally it feels like years, but it's probably been a couple months. They've been doing their land
Yeah.
sales for about that amount of time. They're starting to roll out
Mhm.
sand. Obviously, sand is now used to actually purchase the land in these sales.
Right.
But I wonder if Care Bears won't be associated with some of these land sales. I know they added
Oh
premium
yeah.
game assets to some of the sales, so I wonder if Care Bears will be added to these sales.
Yep, yep. From what I understand, the premium assets on the last sale were, I think, like dragons,
Mm-hmm.
and some other type of creature that you could collect. But for this next sale, not only is it going to be sand only, but they are replacing those premium assets with Care Bear assets.
Boom.
So yeah, so the next land sale will include there'll be a certain tier of land that you'll be able to purchase that will include some of these assets. So
Gotcha.
good
Okay.
time to jump
Yeah,
in.
yeah, for those I know Buffalo has some land. I think you have some land in the sandbox, man. A ton of hype is being drawn
Little
to
bit.
this project through all those land sales. So everyone's kind of eagerly awaiting the launch of this metaverse. I know Decentraland and CryptoVoxels is essentially two of the big ones right now. You've kind of gotten me into Somnium space a little bit. So guys, if you guys are involved in any of these metaverses, let us know in the comments. We definitely want to talk all things metaverses. Let me go back to this initial story that I was supposed to segue into. I don't know where the Care Bears came in. I'm completely flustered right now. We've got Muse promoting album through the use of CryptoKitties. So basically, what's happening here is this band Muse is actually partnering with Dapper Labs, and they're bringing 2 specific collectibles, right? So they have, I believe, Marty and Mibbles. So Marty was already sold. This kind of went under the radar. I wish we knew more about it. But we can actually go into that setting now. Let's see if they actually have these. Yeah, so I'm going to go in here. You can see that these 2 collectibles, and one of the things I want to get over to you, man, is how they made it almost look a little bit like some of these initial wax sales. Does that kind of hit you like almost immediately from kind of what you're seeing here? I don't know if you can actually see
Yeah,
my screen
yeah,
till yeah.
yeah. They definitely doing the sales on as like cards almost. I think yeah, it has that vibe. So
Mhm.
this was actually a really interesting. Did you get involved in the Twitter conversation at all?
No, I did not. What's up?
This was a really good opportunity to kind of jump in and see what people outside of the space think about IPs, kind of playing around in this space. And it was really interesting because the top like 5 or 6 comments were all people that were like, I don't even know what this means. Like, what is this? Why
Mm.
do I care? I think the top comment was like, this is just some stuff for people who have way too much money and like too much time.
Oh.
Um, so it was really interesting. And you know me, like I don't shy away from controversy. So I
Yeah.
jumped right in and started educating
Uh-oh.
people. And it was actually kind of fun. I was like, you know what, this is actually a pretty good use case moment, right? So they were selling them for $99. I think there were only 8 or something like that, I think. It was a really small amount of them.
Mhm.
And then so they sold them for $99. So what I did was I went in, I kind of started some conversations. I think I riled some feathers. I got my first Twitter block queue. And you know
Ooh.
what he blocked me for?
Welcome to the club, man.
Yeah, it was so random. All I did was respond and say like, I think that you should probably like, look into it a little bit more. There's really opportunity there. And if you want to actually invest in something where you can quickly make some profit, then this is something that would interest you. And literally blocked me right after that. So
Fun
what I did
times.
was I actually ended up just saying, hey, I'm going to come back in 24 hours and I'm going to post a screenshot of what these things are selling for, and then we can talk.
Mhm.
Um, and so I checked, and 24 hours later, the first big sale was 3 hours after they sold out, and it sold for $750.
Yeah. Yeah,
So that's a
I got
hell
some
of
of
a
these
return.
pulled. Yeah, I've got some of these pulled up on OpenSea now. It
Hmm.
looks like 199. If we look at the actual front end here, it looks like 199 were available for sale, and it
Okay.
looks like they obviously were purchased and now are being sold kind of on the open market here. So it's very
Nice.
wax like in the sense that they have this like more expensive pack. It almost would be like that larger pack that has like 25 cards as opposed to the kind of standard 5 card pack. That's kind of what's going on here, right? You have the pretty expensive $99 larger collectible, or I wouldn't say larger, but more expensive. And then you have the
More.
smaller collectible here. That's the Mibbles that will be coming soon. So that sale is definitely on its way, man. So yeah, it's being
Yeah,
sold.
man.
I think.
Yeah, and it's cool because they're like digitally signed as well, right? So like, they're. I saw somebody say like claim that they were like the first like banned autographed collectible to hit like the NFTs. So I thought that was kind of
Mm-hmm.
cool. I feel like Muse is kind of like head of the game in this. You know what I mean? Like they saw an opportunity, and I don't know whether or not Dapper or someone on the Muse side came to Dapper, but I think it's smart. It's just going to bring more awareness to the entire space.
Yeah, there was something that I
Did
kind of want to
anybody in
break out.
chat pick one up? I'm curious.
Yeah, that would be interesting to hear. I know there was some breeding going on. I don't know if you breed Marty's for Mibbles, but I know that there was a situation where you could actually breed these before the actual sale that comes out. So there might be some Mibbles on the market before the actual sale because of the breeding mechanic. As far as like
Oh,
what they offer, we've talked about NFT usage here over the
mhm.
past like month that we've been doing NFTLive, and certainly like there could be different use cases for some of these collectibles too, right? If you collect a rare one, you can get access to an event. It could be used almost as a ticket to some of their shows. So none of that is actually happening though. I'm sure like in the future we will see that, but it's important to kind of see that it definitely just from it's more of a partnership and an IP and kind of collectible standpoint at this point. But I'd love to see those
Yeah.
features added where you can get VIP to the event and things like that added to that feature.
Wouldn't that be really cool if like all of a sudden they just like threw out something, or threw out like a newsletter or something? It's like, by the way, anybody who currently holds a Mibbles gets a VIP pass to the next show in their area or something. I think
Exactly.
that's where we're going with NFTs, and that's where we need to be. I've seen the conversation popping up more and more lately of, you know, we've had our fair share of digital image collectibles. where are the ones that are going to bring me some operability, right? Like where are the ones that are actually going to bring me real use case? So to see those start popping up will be really nice. Obviously, we've got companies like the Sandbox that are giving out premium content that eventually will be used. You've got Cogs that eventually will have a game to play. You've got Alien Worlds that is doing a sale soon, but that is also, you can't play that game for however months out. So a lot of this is like almost like that early access moment, right? Except for you don't really get to play a game, you just kind of get to invest and kind of have a piece of something that you'll be able to eventually use. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the actual use cases being implemented across the NFT space in general.
Hell yeah, man. So we've got some other stories here. I'll get to some comments. Darium saying this is great. Jordan saying nice. So we've got some comments in the chat here. Guys, if you want to talk all things NFTs, that's what we're here for. So drop whatever you're doing in the NFT space. I know it's being overshadowed right now and, kind of pushed out by the DeFi craze that's going on Ethereum. But we definitely have news to get to for the remaining part of the episode. Buffalo, we're going to come to you here in a second. I want you to let us know how you're doing behind the scenes, man, and how we're doing up here for the first time that we've got this new setup here. So if we can bring Buffalo in, let's do that now. If not, we can move on. But let's see what we got.
Hello, my peoples. I'm back. Yeah. Awesome. Good job so far. We're moving into grooving. I'm getting your guys' comments, and right now we are streaming to just YouTube. We hopefully each week we'll be doing YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter through Periscope. But for phase 1 on week 1, it's just YouTube. But we are gathering comments from both YouTube and Twitter.
Nice. Do we have any entrants on the?
Guessed? Yeah.
I have not seen anybody guess my height yet. I guess y'all
know.
Guys,
okay, so
free cogs.
Do you want to cut? Hold on. Let me pick out a cog real quick so we can get some excitement going.
Yeah, send it to me on Telly and I'll drop it in the or maybe yeah, there you go.
Ultra rares. Why is this? Oh, here we go. All right, let's see. Jeez, Buffalo, you've been doing some collecting.
Yes, really.
I sold you on it.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have known about cogs if it wasn't for NFTLive.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome. We actually they still do their morning they still do their morning chats, and the one thing that I was really happy about was this morning in the chat somebody dropped in that was new and they were like, yeah, I actually came from Ronin's like Twitter. I just saw it and I hopped in, and so it's nice that like some people are getting into this stuff. I think like one of these top row ones, man. I think like maybe the police detective. Or maybe you should go with the bullish charts, Buffalo. What do you think?
I am leaving it up to your discretion, sir.
Buffalo doesn't like making decisions. He's not a decision maker.
I make decisions, but when I give stuff away, I like to just be, you know what?
We're gonna go with police detective. Police detective is a very popular character. This is a 13 of 23, guys. So look, if you guys are not up to date with what cogs are doing, these things are really moving. The secondary market has held pretty steady, and this is definitely worth it. So remember, you got to follow us on Twitter at NFTLive, and then tweet out #NFTLive and what you think crypto's height is. My guess is 6'7". I don't give any hints. I don't know.
I'll take that same guess.
You can't take my same guess.
No comment.
What is that?
All right. Okay, so I'll keep mine under wraps. I'm gonna not take part in this segment here when it comes to guessing your height, Buffalo. But I've got one in my brain here. So this is what we're gonna do, guys. We're doing that giveaway. Appreciate you popping in here, Buffalo. But we're gonna get to CSC here. I think this is your story here, Ronin. So take it away, man. Definitely looking forward to more MMO style games coming to the blockchain.
Definitely. I'm going to jump in that real quick. I do want to catch up on a couple comments real quick. These are actually going to be coming from the whale community. Again, thank you guys so much for hopping in and for hosting us this week. We appreciate it, Allegria. They were actually saying, hey, they were asking about the rules for the giveaway again. There you guys go. Perfect. Someone did leave a comment that I wanted to touch on, and these guys are talking quick. Oh, they were talking about the CareBears collab and how random it was, and I totally agree. It's like it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
All right, so
I mean,
as
Atari
far
at
as
that
news is
point.
concerned, yeah, I mean, look, the whole thing is huge for the space. So I think
Mm-hmm.
whatever IPs come out, like let's welcome them with open arms.
100%, man.
All right, guys. So what we have next is CSC. CSC is hold on, let me accidentally went away from it. All right, so CSC is actually it's a game. It's like a space MMO. It is backed by NFTs for their ships and things like that. They actually had a huge Star Trek promotion that went on a couple months ago that I kind of followed from afar. It's a really kind of cool experience. One thing that I think is really important to note is that they are officially out of early access on Steam, and they have officially launched as of 3 p.m. today. So definitely keep an eye on that. If you guys are really into space games, MMOs, NFTs, I definitely think you should give it a shot. These things are really cool. I think it's awesome to like own a spaceship. Like all the Star Citizen guys, you know what I mean? Like they
Mm-hmm.
actually don't own that stuff. And think about how much those guys are paying. I mean, they pay $1,500 for a single ship, right? Um, and it just makes so much more sense to do that in the NFT space where you actually have true ownership. So I thought this was a really cool update. Again, we're pushing closer and closer to mass adoption, and wherever we can insert NFTs and the technology, I think is going to just help.
100%, man. I've definitely been a casual observer of like a type games like No Man's Sky, and this kind of like
Hmm.
reminds me of that, where you're kind of going and having to kind of farm for resources and things like that. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, Steam to have an NFT based game on Steam is definitely 100% a win there. So I haven't looked into CSC at all, man. I appreciate you bringing that to my attention, but we definitely want to see more games obviously launch and more AAA type games. So something launching on Steam is definitely, I think we've seen, Chain Monsters is kind of launching there too. So we've kind of seen a slow trickle effect as we've seen more blockchain games kind of launch on Steam, which is good to see, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. All right. Well, I've got the Rev token here, and then I'm going to touch on some Whale and Alex partnerships. I didn't realize I'd have the Whale guys watching while I broke down Whale, but we will have that situation kind of play out. We'll see how much they're going to flame me for getting that stuff wrong. We've got the Rev token here. I'm going to pull this up, guys. So Yacht actually hit me up recently and kind of dropped this article, Yacht Suite from Animoca Brand. So I appreciate you, Yacht, for getting me this information. Obviously, it's publicly available, so it's literally on a huge decrypt publication, but he was just letting me know that it happened. So I'm not getting the news first here. We've got Animoca Brands kind of launching this Rev utility token for their F1 racing game. We've talked about F1 Delta Time here on the channel before. Obviously, it's a racing game. We've talked about ownership of tracks where people are actually they have the track being represented as an NFT. If someone races on your track, they have to pay a certain amount. There's different mechanics. Obviously, the game's not live yet, but this Rev token is kind of being pushed live, and it's going to be on Uniswap, fellas. So Uni is obviously a big player in the DeFi space. We've seen that kind of pick up in crypto over the last month, probably more so than it ever has been in its 3-year history. So this Rev token looks like it's going to be on Uniswap on Friday, I believe is kind of the release that they're looking at. I don't know if it actually says that on the article, but I believe it's going to be listed on Friday. There's also some staking mechanics here. There's some NFT mining, as the Whale guys are familiar with, and I'm going to read directly from the article here. It says, plus, they can earn Rev for staking non-fungible tokens they own, as well as stake Rev to potentially earn additional NFTs. So there's a little bit of cross-pollination there from the Rev token into NFTs and NFTs into Rev. So Animoca Brands, man, got nothing bad to say about them. They're absolutely killing the game. Obviously, they're super associated with Sandbox. So they definitely are killing it. There's a mention again of CareBears, the old CareBear Alliance. I think that's what they're calling it over there. So it's Animoca Brands is building out that ecosystem, man. But yeah, what did you make of this Rev token here? And then I'll get to one more portion of that story.
Yeah, I think that through like just conversations you and I have had, man, I think that just makes tons of sense for, I didn't really quite understand why you would need your own token. But now that I understand the technology, I understand its use case. It makes all the sense in the world. I think the F1 Delta time is um, a really cool
Mm-hmm.
project. I'm really looking forward to seeing like how the actual game itself is going to play out. But anytime that you can incorporate staking and being able to put your NFTs in and then get some back
Yeah.
out, I mean, it's play to earn,
Yeah,
right?
we
That's
need
where we're trying to get
yeah,
to.
we need to break this down, man, because it looks like this is a relatively live project. I know that they've been doing those collectibles like you were talking about. But this looks live. Like I think I could connect my MetaMask here and go live. That being said, we've talked about the gas fees. I don't think I'm paying $20 to hop on this race here. So I
That's the
did want to get
problem,
to
man. That's the problem.
yeah, hit it, man. I know you've been waiting all kind of episode here. What's the answer, man? Like what's the answer really?
I really don't know what the answer is, to be 100% honest with you. I think that, like, to me, um, artists should be looking at other spaces. The problem is that, with the exception of, I think, Hive, none of the other spaces are really looking out for the artists, right? Like, there's not
Mm.
proper art platforms anywhere except for Ethereum. I mean, like I said, Hive definitely has one. I can't remember the name of it. NFT Showroom, I believe, off the top of my head. So
Okay.
Hive definitely has that, but everyone's still in Ethereum. And I'd love to tell
Mm-hmm.
people like they should be going to Wax, but the problem with Wax is that it's based so much around collectibles. Art is just not in the forefront. And I think that when it comes to art, it just needs to be presented differently. They're not the same type of people. They're not the same. They don't have the same interest. You know what I mean? Like, art people want to look
Mm-hmm.
at art. They don't want a piece of art in the middle of a bunch of garbage pail kids, right? To me, that almost devalues the NFTs that are there.
You're right.
And it's unfortunate. But that's the only way you can also display them, right? So we've got a lot of problems right
Mm-hmm.
now. Like, I think the one answer is a platform that comes out and identifies these things and really attacks them in their user interface and their experience, their customer experience. Someone needs to identify the fact that, like, displaying your collectibles is not important anywhere. Like, that should be at the forefront. Like, people collect things because they like to show them off,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you displaying collectibles, interoperability, like the ability to mint on demand, right? Like, it would help if these artists could mint something when it was actually purchased, or at least have the price of the mint come out of their royalties, versus having to pay upfront 30, 40, $50 to have it
Mm-hmm.
minted and then have it sit for weeks. Some of these artists, this is how they live. So coming 50, $60 out of pocket and not knowing when that investment is going to come back is something that they actually have to worry about. So someone
Mm-hmm.
really needs to identify that. They need to identify the collection part of things. And you really need to present it. I think Super Rare is like one of those sites that just, the presentation is there, like, it looks really good, but it's also a very closed circle, right? Like, it's they curate everything, so you got to find a balance. I think that other blockchains definitely can deal with the art demand and are would be much better suited, but there's not a platform to do so.
Yeah, I think the marriage between the art community and metaverses is interesting because we had Mickey on back in the day on the Layer One interview episodes, and basically, like, that was one of the main questions I had. Is because I think we even had a comment about Flow, but Flow needs a metaverse if you
Yep.
want to be, or they need to be interoperable with something, right? If they're interoperable with an Ethereum metaverse, more power to them. But the ability to show these off, I think it's so tightly woven together, man. I know the Whaleshark community has
Mhm.
that NFT mansion that's going on, that Whaleshark mansion. That's really cool to be able to go in world and see all this really cool shit that they're putting together in real life, right?
Exactly.
I think you can,
Yeah.
and I love the point that you made though about Wax, because it really is there. It needs a separate kind of marketplace to emerge, like a Super Rare. I think that's a great example. Nifty Gateway is another one. They need these
Mhm.
other marketplaces to emerge. They can't have everything live on Atomic Hub, or you're going to have that
Nope.
situation that you talked about, man. I think you put that perfectly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So.
Someone really needs to just, like, attack that. Like, someone needs to go, like the entire experience should be based around, like, displaying your collectibles. So,
Mhm.
um, you know,
Yeah,
We'll see
yeah,
what pops up. I think there's some people out there that would like to see it happen. Someone just needs to throw some money at them.
yeah. That's our gas fee rant for the day. I know we talked about it earlier too, but we're gonna hop off the old pedestal here. I'm gonna finish up this story. So along with this
Did
F1
we catch
Delta
up
time.
on chat? Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
let me finish this real quick. So they're basically having a flash show, right? So before this Uniswap listing, it looks like they're having a pre-sale. You're gonna have to own some type of items. I don't know how much information is out there, but it looks like they just announced 6 hours ago. They've since kind of hinted at more information. But basically, it looks like there's going to be a pre-sale for this Rev token before the actual Uniswap listing. So they're trying to drive hype around this token that obviously is a integral part of that ecosystem. But they're really playing on the speculation here. The F1 Delta time is because of this pre-sale and having this in like a flash sale mentality. They're definitely looking to. And they even have the ticker here launching on Uniswap. So yeah, if you guys are traders and you're speculators in the NFT space, I mean, we'll see what Rev does is listed on Uniswap. Certainly keeping an eye out for that. But sorry, did I interrupt you there?
Oh no, you're good. I was just saying, I didn't know if we were caught up on chat, and it looks like we're pretty caught up on everything that everybody's chatting about, so we're good.
Cool. So yeah, it looks like they're trying to use this token in like a racing universe. So it's not just going to be F1. It looks like there's going to be multiple different types of games that they're trying to use this Rev token across. So there's definitely a lot happening, more so than we've seen with F1 and with this kind of series that they're running out. So definitely it's something to keep an eye on. I love NFT tokens getting listed on Uni, man. I think having more NFT tokens, although we've seen problems with Rari and distributions and fake volume and all that stuff, it still drives speculation. That's something Dimitri, who's also on Layer One, says a lot. In that that speculation is driven by the price, and it really brings people into the ecosystem. Obviously, there's downsides like I just talked about, but on the whole, it's good to see more NFT tokens.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. So I think the last story here. Oh, we got two more. So we got a rare designer. I am going to touch on this Whale and Alex partnership, guys. If you're in the Whaleshark community and you're listening right now, if I say something dumb, Ronin's going to be there watching you guys' comments. He's going to tell me, listen, Q, you need to track back. You need to say something else because this was completely wrong. But I am going to talk about this Alex and Whale partnership. Basically, what's happening here is they're using each other's personal tokens and also each other's communities to kind of engage and kind of be a positive element for both, right, in a vice versa type of way. So there is an actual kind of and I'll lay it out here. There is actual tokens being traded hands here. I think some Alex Massmedge is like a really popular kind of social media influencer. I'm sure he wouldn't want to be called that, but I'm doing it anyways. But he has that Alex token that's certainly been in the news. I think he like tokenized himself. He was the first one that gained mainstream adoption. It looks like 100,000 Alex. There's some Uniswap pools going on here. It looks like, and I knew it was 50. So 50,000 Alex will be locked in the Whale Collector Vault forever, adding value to the Whale collection. And then 4,000 Whale will be given to the Alex ETH. So they're basically providing liquidity for the Alex token. So definitely some good interchangeable relationship here for the Whaleshark community and Alex's community. I'm sure Whale, I think, has a much larger community than Alex, but still really good to see these two social tokens kind of intermingling together. I think it's the first time we've seen, or the first time in like a mainstream fashion that we've seen that.
Right. Yeah. Obviously, like, I think that this is really good for the space. I think that the best thing that Whale is doing is like going out there and making like some real good partnerships. Like they're out there and they're touching base with like everybody that you should be touching base with. The next subject that we got coming up is going to be Rare Designer. And I know that he, has teamed up with Whale. A cool thing that they're doing is that they are also teaming up with artists to have artists produce special content that can only be purchased with Whale. Huge.
We're stealing that, by the way. We're 100,000 million% stealing that, guys. So there is going to be some stuff we do here in the future that's going to be lads oriented.
Yep.
Obviously, Layer 1 has the lads token, affectionately named after our community. If you want to join the community, we've talked about it multiple times. Telegram link is in the description. We'll 1,000% be stealing this from the whale community. So hey, listen, you guys are doing something right if you're being copied.
Yeah, yeah, it's the highest form of flattery, right? So I think it makes the most sense. This just makes like this space is everything that everybody's doing. I think that one of the coolest things, obviously, is what happened with us, which is Randy reaching out. We've been able to network with lots of people. Never in a million years would I think that I would be sitting down with founders and CEOs and interviewing people and getting the opportunity to just like bump elbows and share ideas and strategies. And it's because we all have this like passion for NFTs and for crypto and for this like thing that we just all believe in. So it's really cool to see it happening, man. I get that vibe every time someone shoots me a DM. If anybody's hanging out in chat and, you know, or on the whale Discord or out there in Twitter land, you know, if you want to talk NFTs, all you got to do is shoot me a message, man. And I can talk for hours. And I talk to people about art and collectibles and gaming and the whole thing. So, it's really cool, man. I just love seeing more and more collaborations across the board.
Yeah, 100%. I know they gave some shout outs here to Cooper Turley, who's running that personal token agency. Ronin loves NFTs. He loves collectibles. I'm trying to get him on board with this social token thing. He's come on board little by little. I think you can kind of see a little bit of the value that a social token, like every week, I think there's more stuff kind of cementing social tokens as a positive kind of influence on different communities. So yeah, it's definitely something that we're keeping in touch on. So last story we have here, guys, before we kind of dip into the comments and then dip out, is going to be Rare Designer. So why don't we go ahead and hit that story?
All right, so this one is not one that I'm really happy about having to bring to everyone's attention, but unfortunately, I'm pretty sure everyone in Whale knows who he is. If you follow me on Twitter, you know who he is because I absolutely love his work. Rare Designer created the I'm going to say it wrong, Odysseum cards, which are purchasable at the moment through his own personal social token, Rare. But unfortunately, this morning he tweeted out that he had a situation where he had almost $1,000 taken out of his MetaMask. And then the thief also went ahead and took his NFTs and sent the NFTs to a wallet. And it's very unfortunate. If you have ever dealt with Rare, if you've ever, you know, tweeted at him, if you've ever sent him a DM, you know that he is one of the nicest people that you can come across. He was a super quick supporter of me on Twitter, you know, liking and sharing and commenting on my content, and I thank him very much for that. And I just think that this is obviously something that we need to continue to harp on. Anytime something like this happens, it breaks everyone's hearts. But it's also a good talking point and a good reminder that when it comes to your crypto, like wallets, there's certain things that you guys need to be doing to protect it, right? If you follow the thread, unfortunately, you can identify a couple of things that Rare probably did that are just straight up no-nos. You know, keys were stored in a text file on his desktop, which can be accessible by anybody who gets access to your desktop, which can be done a myriad of ways, right? Like, and then he also unfortunately did share his keys with one or two trusted friends. Never do that. There's no reason for it. I know that he was probably, you know, he's probably got a lot going on. He's doing a lot. He's got his Discord. He's launching this art. He's got his hand in the COGS thing. I know he's helping with the whale community. But you know, if you guys have a second, reach out to Rare, show him some love. You know, just let him know that you're with him. Support him if you can. But most importantly, guys, like make sure you're handling your security. For me, I use Bitwarden. I have Bitwarden auto create all of my passwords. They're all saved there. I have it on my phone, on all my browsers. I never save my keys on the desktop because you can capture that by keystrokes or anything like that. Write it down. They tell you to write it on a piece of paper because anybody can get it if it's sitting somewhere on your PC. So just practice good security. Unfortunately, this did happen to Rare. You know, the good thing is he seems to at least have his head up, and he's got some really amazing art, and he's got really cool projects. So if you see anything that even remotely interests you, go ahead and jump in and invest, because it's going to be 100% worth it.
Yeah. When you first told me this story, it was kind of shocking, because I was like, how did he actually get hacked, right? What actually happened
Right.
here? And then you kind of laid out the mechanics of how it went down and what he had done prior. So yeah, definitely not your keys, not your crypto. Definitely write that stuff down, as Ronin was talking about. So yeah, there's not much to say on that. I definitely feel for the guy. So hopefully he can create more art and start to get back to where he was, and he gets to feel whole a little bit from an ETH standpoint. So this is what it is, guys. We've got that giveaway. I'm going to bring Buffalo back in here. If we don't have anybody that commented on Twitter, we're going to do it via YouTube chat here. So this is what we'll do. Let us know if there's a Twitter winner. If not, we'll run it through YouTube here.
I have not seen anybody yet on Twitter guess my height.
All right, so this is what we'll do. We're going to run this stuff through YouTube chat. This is how it's going to work. Buffalo rolled out this giveaway, guys. It's for a pretty good cog here. I didn't actually get to see it because we're obviously doing this, and I wasn't able to see that screen. But we're going to give away a cog here. We're going to have you guess Buffalo's height, and the first person to guess the right, and you can only guess once. Don't do this thing where you're guessing every inch. Yeah, so the first person to guess Buffalo's height gets a cog. Go, and then we're gonna run out of here. But Buffalo, man, this has been a great episode. You have definitely added a lot to the show. We can see, and definitely did a great job. Thank you so much, man.
My pleasure, man.
Yeah, man.
I don't even know why I'm drinking coffee right now. I'm already jacked. This is let's do another episode tomorrow or right after this. This is just phase one, you guys. It's only gonna get better.
Right.
So appreciate you guys letting me come on.
Yeah, we got. Most definitely, man. We appreciate you coming on board and taking charge, and getting the music and the graphics and everything together, dude. It's very much appreciated. We've got some comments rolling in. Manila
5-6
out that Rev token has already sold out. 5-6. Okay, so we've got 6-7, 6-5, 5-8, 5-6, 6-9, 6-8. Has anybody hit it yet?
All right, drum roll, and the winner is.
Nice.
6-8. I was pretty close, man. You're welcome,
Jordan. Darium, you were pretty close, man. 3-5. That's a hell of a guess.
I think my daughter's taller than 3-5. Rude Moose, what's going on, brother?
Yeah, so guys, we had a bunch of people.
What's up?
Yeah, we had a bunch of people kind of join late here. We got about 33 of you guys, so appreciate you guys showing up to NFTLive. We just did the COGS giveaway, so I think, Buffalo, you said Jordan was the one that won. We have him up there on the screen right now, so congratulations, Jordan. Drop your Wax wallet address, and we will get you this COG that you just won.
Yep. Thank you guys so much for jumping in. I know that we've got people, like I said, we've got people on YouTube, we've got people over on the Discord, everyone who came in and liked, who hit the subscribe button, we appreciate it. Everyone who commented, we live off of your comments. It helps drive the conversation as we're chatting. So thank you so much for that, guys. And don't forget, we're available on Twitter. I'm at Ronin DACC. You can find the NFT Live at NFTLive. CryptoQ at CryptoQ_1, and then we've got at CryptoBuffalo for our new production guy. So we appreciate you guys very much. Thank you for being here this week, and we will see you next week.